We know that Google is tracking us. We agree to it when we set up our phones. So we wanted to figure out what exactly Google is learning about us throughout the day. So here's what we're going to do. We have two identical phones. The only difference between these two phones is this one is in airplane mode. Both of the phones lack a SIM card, and they haven't been set up to access any Wi-Fi networks. So for all intents and purposes, these phones have no connection to a data network. We're going to keep them with us throughout the day. And while I travel around DC, we're going to figure out just what Google is finding out about me.
Our first stop, Sim's convenience store, just outside our Fox bureau, for a quick coffee. From there, we took a walk to the Capitol and took a quick walk around the Senate office buildings, and then decided to hop in a car and head around town.
Hello. We're going to the Children's Hospital, please.
To run our tests, we had to do more than walk the block, so we took a tour around our nation's capital. First, due north to the Children's National Medical Center Hospital, then west to St. Albans School and the National Cathedral. Our tour around town was a 14-mile journey that lasted more than an hour. The entire time, the phones had no access to the internet.
Oh my goodness.
Not a Wi-Fi connection and not any cellular data service. It almost seemed quaint to assume that Google wouldn't even be able to collect data on me.
Let's head back to the bureau, my friend. Oh, that church is beautiful.
Google's business model is simple. Collect data on its users and then use that data to sell targeted ads. It's a business model called surveillance capitalism. But does that critical data collection work even when your phones aren't connected?
So we're back here at our Fox Bureau in DC, and we've got both of our phones exactly how we left with them. The only difference, really, I snapped a couple of bad selfies at the National Cathedral. But otherwise, they have stayed in my pocket for the entire day. So let's find out what they know. This is our man-in-the-middle device. It's basically a Wi-Fi network that these phones are going to connect to once we turn their Wi-Fi on. It's going to pass data through it on the way to Google. But on the way, we're actually going to get a copy of the same data that Google's going to get. We'll be able to decrypt it and then find out where we've been throughout the day.
Within minutes, the numbers rolled in. The phone that wasn't on airplane mode registered more than 100 locations, 130 activities, and even 152 barometric readings. As soon as it hooked up to our Wi-Fi, it transmitted 300 kilobytes of data straight to Google. The phone even logged our exact locations, tracking us all around town, the Capitol, the hospital, the school, and the cathedral.
Now you may notice what's missing here is the exact route that we took, but it got that data too. It knows when I got out of the car.
The metadata has a time log down to the very second, tracking everything when they think that you're walking, riding, and yes, even getting out of the car.
Okay, so you're thinking, this isn't a big deal. I'll just put my phone in airplane mode. Yeah, we thought of that too. This is the other phone that we had with us that no SIM card also remained in airplane mode the entire time. Let's see what kind of data it captured.
The phone with airplane mode activated actually logged more locations and activities than the other phone, and it also transferred hundreds of kilobytes of data to Google as soon as it was activated.
The only thing that's missing from this map is our stop at the Children's Hospital, but it still knows we were there. There it is. Exiting vehicle, 100% accuracy.
Through complicated user agreements and free software, Google gets users to sign away their privacy for nothing. They're even following you in the places that most people would expect total privacy: government buildings, a children's hospital, a private school, a church. Every move you make, every step you take, Google is watching you.
Okay, our next topic has sparked from real-life experiences from many of our coworkers. Ever notice that you have a conversation with a friend or a family member and suddenly you see advertisements on your phone's Facebook ad or sponsored posts on your Instagram feed? Well, this left us wondering, are our phones eavesdropping on us? And if so, how do you turn the darn thing off? We've got a tech expert here to explain these targeted ads, how they work, and how to protect yourself. But first, those real-life experiences we talked about, check some of them out.
So earlier this week, I'm talking to my wife on my personal cell phone. We're talking about having to book a hotel room this weekend up in New Jersey. We're going there for my daughter's dance competition. That's all we did. Talked about it on this phone. 4 hours later, checking my Facebook feed on this phone, up pops the exact city, exact hotel we're talking about, and deals for that hotel. That's crazy.
My story is just as crazy. I'm talking to my mom about totally random pink flamingos, pink lawn flamingos. And we
Were you talking on the phone or just?
No, just we're walking down the sidewalk, getting some coffee in town, phone in my hand, Hours later, I'm on Facebook, and it's like, here's where you can buy pink flamingo themed cups, glasses. It was so odd, so freaky.
And we were talking about this yesterday. I'm going to Atlantis later this month, and so I'm showing them on my computer where I'm going to stay, and then later I see all these ads for Atlantis, you know, on my Facebook, everything. It was crazy.
So I wasn't even on my phone or on Facebook. I was over at her computer while we were talking about Atlantis, and I had my phone right here. Several hours later, I open up my phone now on my personal Facebook feed. I have advertisements to take a trip to Atlantis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lottery winning. Lottery winning.
I tried it at 7:30.
It did work.
It didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being rich. Being rich.
All right, joining us to tackle this crazy topic is tech expert Pete Erickson, the founder of the tech company Motive. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, it is a talker. Yes. How in the heck is this happening? That's the first question.
Well, you know, we have been giving computers a lot of information for a long time, right? So we've been doing Google searches for a long time, and all that information goes into big databases, and we have a profile out there about who we are. Now our voice is becoming one of those inputs, and so marketers have figured out how to get access to our voice. It's up to the consumer to really understand how to turn off these capabilities so that marketers, you know, can't just listen to everything that we're doing.
But you're doing something so benign as, like, you know, you're talking or do whatever. How? Again, it's like, is there embedded software? I mean, I don't remember giving it permission.
That's right. So I think what's really important is, and what people are going to learn, what they're going to figure out is that they have to look at the settings on their devices. They have to understand when they've allowed somebody access to their microphone. So go into your settings. Does Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, do they have access to your microphone? And if they do, then you need to understand what that really means.
Can you go back there? A lot of times that happens when we first download the app, and then those options will come up and say, you know, Twitter would like access to your microphone, etc. If you already said yes, can you go back somehow and undo that?
Yes, you can go into your settings and turn things off. You know, and what really drove a lot of this, there's somebody here joining us, this Amazon Echo here sitting in the middle of the on the table here. You know, over 3 million families have bought Amazon Echo now. It's in homes. So people are really becoming aware of this kind of voice interactivity. So Amazon Echo. So Alexa, tell a joke.
What's the best Christmas present in the world? A broken drum. You just can't beat it.
So
She doesn't tell great jokes, but we get it.
Okay, clean jokes. Okay, my kids are 4 and 5. They love her.
Perfect.
All right. So, but here's the thing.
So what do you use her for, really?
Oh my gosh! Well, we come in the morning. We ask her what the news is. We ask her what the weather.
We didn't just watch Fox 5.
Ask her. Well, we do watch Fox 5. Yes, we do. But you know, she knows my schedule. She knows the metro schedule. So these are called skills. So and now third-party developers are building skills for the Amazon Echo. Really, it's called the Alexa platform. So what's happening is with Apple's Siri, with Google now, with Microsoft Cortana, with this new platform that just got announced called Viv. These are all IBM Watson. These are all voice-activated artificial intelligence in the background, and that's going to become part of our lives. So when we get into our car, we can say, you know, turn on the radio, turn off the radio.
Let me get technical for a second. I think that the thing that scares a lot of people is we might understand if we're typing something online into a search engine, they're going to store that, and then we might see the ads. But the fact that any conversation we might be having right now, look, everybody's got their phone in their hand.
I'm trying to figure out how to turn it off on Facebook, like I'm in the Facebook settings.
But here's a question, because when I was looking into this, one of the things that it said, you know, the Googles of the world are saying, no, we don't do this. Some say that this is transmitted through Wi-Fi settings, perhaps. Is it as simple as if we turn off Wi-Fi now, we can protect maybe our information a little bit more?
Well, your phone's connected to the cellular network, so turning off Wi-Fi in your home is not going to protect you from your phone because it's connected to the network. But devices now, like the Alexa, there's a mute button right on top, which will turn her off.
You think?
And yes, and Amazon has told us that she is only listening after you do a wake word, which is Alexa. You'll see her come on, right? So, and if it's Microsoft, I mean, if it's a Google, say, okay, Google, that activates. If it's a Samsung Smart TV and you say change the channel, they pick that up as an on key, and now it's recording.
So Peter, how do I turn it off on Facebook? How do you turn off? We're running out of time. But
what you want to do, you want to go like on your iPhone, go to your settings, look at your microphone. It says you can see who's got access to your microphone. It'll tell you exactly.
Oh, under
yes,
settings.
under settings. It's going to tell you exactly who's got access to your microphone, and you can turn that off.
Okay, and that'll solve the problem.
That'll solve the problem.
Oh, wow. Okay, here's my microphone.
Where's my microphone?
Okay.
So it's in your settings. I'll show you that.
You'll
in just,
show me?
yeah,
Okay.
Since we're done here.
Settings, microphone, and then shut off all the ones
right.
that you don't want to be listening to your conversation.
That's right.
Pete Erickson, you are
It's a new era. Listen, it's hard for people to get used to, but this is going to be.
Well, I mean, it shows the good with something like.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
But also, you know, you have to be aware of the bad. You don't want that feeling that somebody is listening. Big Brother is out there listening to everything that we have to say.